Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. We're trying something different today, as today we are going to be doing the first player analysis on the channel today. We're branching out, we're trying new ideas today. The first one is going to be about the White Pele, Elliot Lee. We're just going to be discussing the importance of Elliot Lee and how he fitted in really quickly into this Wrexham team, and how we are a different team when he's on the pitch and how he's one of our best players. Before we get going in today's video, yes, you can probably tell by my voice, I've got a cold. I've got the cough sweets and I've got the tissues here because I can sense a cold brewing in my body, but yeah, that's no pun intended for Stoke Cold Brew, but yeah, we've got to do it for the video. We'll persevere because this is a really good video that I'm proud to have created. I must say, before we get going into this first player analysis video on the channel, is if you're looking for all the best Wrexham AFC content on YouTube, get down there, click the red subscribe button. We're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of 2023, so any support is massively appreciated. If you like this video and you want to see more, like I said, get down there and click the subscribe button now. Yeah, let's get talking about Elliot Lee and his importance in the Wrexham AFC team. Now, after Elliot Lee's breathtaking start to life at Wrexham AFC, obviously signed in July 2022, I think it's only right that we start off by doing him as our first player analysis, because he has hit the ground running ever since he signed for Wrexham. We're going to be doing an in-depth review, like I said, about how he quickly hit the ground running. He settled in really well and had an impact from the first minute that he was on the pitch for Wrexham AFC. Like I said, 2022 he signed. Ever since then, Elliot Lee has registered 39 goals and assists in 71 games. That is across all competitions in a Wrexham AFC shirt. So that's nearly 40 goals and assists in 70 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he has proved to be one of Rob and Ryan's best signings to date. So the first area that I want to analyse about Elliot Lee is his chance creation. We're going to be looking at the chances that he has created whilst he's been on the pitch. Now, one of the key roles for an attacking midfielder is obviously their ability to create chances, and this is something we have seen dozens and dozens of times when Elliot Lee has been on the pitch. There's been multiple goals that have come through a tricky bit of play from Elliot Lee, whether it be a short burst away from a defender and slots through a ball to one of the strikers, or just a moment of magic from Elliot Lee when we need it most. He has created chances, and in League 2 so far this season, he has registered 21 key passes, which was the 16th highest in League 2 this season. He's had a real impact on this team. He's had a short and snappy impact to life in League 2. And let's get analysing Elliot Lee. So in the Grimsby clip here, we can see Elliot Lee picks up the ball in his own half on his weaker foot, and then accelerates past the Grimsby midfielder, slots a lovely pass through between the two players to Sam Dolby, who unfortunately couldn't finish off the shot. In this clip, you can see he helped transition the play from our own half to a shot on target in less than 5 seconds. You know, he outfoxed the opponent twice with a powerful burst forward to create the opening for Sam Dolby. So it's these short moments of magic that we've seen from Elliot Lee. His ability to create chances in a very short amount of time is impressive, and it's something I've never seen a Wrexham player do since watching a player in a Wrexham shirt. And again, he did it in the Grimsby game again. Now this is part 2 of the Grimsby game. He starts off with a 1-2 and then crowded by a Grimsby player, and what most players would do in this situation would obviously play it wide. As you can see from this still frame, Ben Tozer was the option down that left hand side, and what most players in that situation would do would lay it off to the wide player for them obviously to get the cross in. But Lee used his technical ability in this situation to Cruyff turn the defender to create the space for the cross. For me, it's the creativity that Elliot Lee possesses and brings to this Wrexham team, and that's why I think he's been so important for us. He's a hard worker, he's tenacious in midfield, and like I said, his chance creation rate is through the roof, and he can create multiple chances per 90 minutes. He is a big part of our attack. It's definitely level between him and Paul Mullin, who is more vital in that attack, but Elliot Lee is the player obviously that sits in front of the midfield and just behind the striker, so he is the man that is responsible for creating chances. You might think this is a one-off clip where Elliot Lee has Cruyff turned the defender, but he does it nearly every match. He has that moment of magic in nearly every game he plays for Wrexham AFC. It's clear to see that he is definitely League 1 standard, and I think he probably could do a job for most championship teams. We've seen Wayne Rooney has reportedly been looking at Elliot Lee to sign for Birmingham City, which will not happen. I hope it doesn't happen anyway. The final clip we're going to be looking at for chance creation now is last season away at Aldershot Town. We can see it's a short free kick. He receives the ball in a wider position, which is a thing that Elliot Lee often tends to do in a Wrexham shirt, and that's what you see most when you have got a number 8. You see them drifting into wider positions because they have got the freedom of the attack, and Elliot Lee uses that really, really well. You can see he drifts wide from the free kick, waits for the defender to commit, waits for the defender to make that split decision, and in the matter of under a second, he turns sharply past the defender, bursts into the space and puts the cross in. So Elliot Lee, his football IQ was far too good for the National League, and I could say it in League 2 as well. His stats showed that 27 goals and assists in our promotion season. You know, he is just skillful. He is such a skillful player, and like I said, he can create a chance out of nothing, and our attack isn't the same when Elliot Lee isn't on the pitch. Elliot Lee's low sense of gravity, he's very, very skillful, he's got good balance, he's hard to tackle. I don't think I've seen Elliot Lee be tackled this season when he has been on the ball, and like I said, it's difficult when you're a defender, midfielder, attacker to get the ball off Elliot Lee because his close control is good, he's got a low sense of gravity, and he is very, very skillful. And if you dive in, he will probably skin you within under half a second. Another thing that I will be talking about is Elliot Lee's quality in front of goal. Now, as a central attacking midfielder, the position that Elliot Lee does play, you expect them to be good at passing, creating chances, etc. But having a centre attacking midfielder that is good at shooting and that can score goals from range is a massive bonus, and we fortunately got that in Elliot Lee. He has shown his quality in front of goal many times in a Wrexham shirt, and the first one we're going to be pointing out is an absolute worldie. It's the Oldham Athletic clip from last season. Now immediately you can see that Elliot Lee has found the space, which like I said before is a common occurrence for high quality centre attacking midfielders. You know, they tend to have that football IQ to drift into the wider positions to receive the ball and make space for themselves to drive into, and Lee takes a couple of touches when he does receive the ball, sets himself up and picks out the top corner delightfully. You know, he created that space for himself to allow himself to take the shot, and it hit the top corner perfectly. And the second clip is Dorking Wanderers at home. Now it's nearly a carbon copy of the Oldham goal. Now he picks the ball up and again immediately makes those runs to create the space and create a chance. Now the defenders don't pick Elliot Lee up in this situation because he is so unpredictable, which makes him a nightmare to defend against. You know, he's immediately making those sharp runs off, looking for the ball. I think it was with Mullen. He plays that 1-2 with Mullen, and his sharp acceleration to make that space and allow the room to take the shot is just why he is on another level and why he was probably one of the top 3 best players in the National League last season. And like Oldham, he takes a touch and absolutely arrows it into that top right hand corner. I think those games were like the matter of a month, so you know, he had those moments of magic when we needed him most. It's the fact that Elliot Lee can get into those advanced positions and create good opportunities, and like I previously said, he is a nightmare for defenders to defend against, because once he gets in that final third, he can literally do anything. He could find that killer pass, he could play that pinpoint pass through to the strikers, or we've seen it, he can unleash a shot and 9 times out of 10 you'll see it go on target, or at least 7 out of 10 times you'll see it hit the back of the net. So I can imagine it is a nightmare to defend against because, like I said, he can create those moments of magic. He is a tricky player. He is skillful. He's hard to knock off the ball. If you dive in that split second, he will skin you and create a key moment in that game. And we knew when Elliot Lee signed for Wrexham AFC that he was going to be a great addition to this squad, but nothing could have prepared me for how good he was actually going to be. Now, it's probably because we've had many centre attacking midfielders in my time watching Wrexham, and of course they've all been playing in non-league, so we haven't had that real good player of Elliot Lee's quality that is going to create those chances. So to see Elliot Lee in a Wrexham shirt and to see how incredible he is on the ball is like, it's a breath of fresh air from some of the previous attacking midfielders we've seen in a Wrexham shirt. But like I said, nothing could have prepared me for how good he is. He is a magician in that attacking midfield role, and like I said, he's by far the best centre attacking midfielder I've seen in a Wrexham shirt, and we are incredibly lucky to have him. The main attribute of a centre attacking midfielder is their creativity. How can they create chances? Can they create a chance out of nothing? And that is something that Elliot Lee does really well. It is powerful, positive runs forward to create those chances, and like I've said multiple times, it's just his ability to create those moments of magic in a game. We've seen it on the opening day of the National League season last year against Eastleigh. We were struggling when it came to that final third phase, and Elliot Lee was on for what, 20 minutes, scored 2, hit 2 absolutely incredible goals. You know, we knew then he was going to be a really skillful and was going to add a lot to this football team. And the main one I would like to point out is against Barnet. Now, he receives it on his back foot facing Wrexham's own goal, and he has got 2 players really crowded tight to him, and he uses the drop of the shoulder to take those 2 Barnet players out of the game. He confuses them, he causes them to nearly bump into each other, and then this is the best part, he runs in a left line, so he's attacking towards the left flank. Now, you'd imagine in this situation that they would look for the ball out wide, but no, Elliot Lee continues to go in that diagonal line, and then he plays a disguised pass through with his weaker foot to Ollie Palmer, who makes it 7-3 in that game. So, and I do think when Elliot Lee is on the pitch, like I've said, it is creativity that changes the game, and we definitely do create triple the chances when Elliot Lee is on the pitch. Now, he used the shoulder drop really well in this position against Barnet. You know, it's a simple thing that players can do, and it's a simple thing you can practice on your own, but to execute that in a match, in a situation like we were in, you know, some could say it's risky, but Elliot Lee has obviously got that quality and he knows what the outcome is going to be. If he executes that perfectly, it's going to come off. He has the confidence and he has the ability to do this type of stuff in a match, and that small package of play there against Barnet again is something that you don't see happening in the National League. But Elliot Lee, like I said, we got him down to the National League and he proved why he is easily League One standard that season, and he showed this season so far why he's going to be a huge player in our surge for promotion to League One. Now, we're going to be looking at Wealdstone at home last season. Now, as you can see from the clip, Elliot Lee drifts wide for the free kick because we know he's got the ability to put a top-notch cross in. Obviously, they've worked on this in training. Elliot Lee is a good set-piece taker. He knows how to put a good delivery into the box. He receives it, takes his time and picks out a perfect cross. Now, we've seen it many times where Elliot Lee's put a cross in, but this just shows the quality that he does have. It's on a plate for Paul Mullin to put it into the back of the net. And like I said, we've seen it multiple times. I could have shown dozens of clips of Elliot Lee putting crosses into the box which have led to goals, but this one at the time impressed me, and looking back on it, it's even better when you watch it back. It's just the perfect weight on the cross, and you know, it's finished home by Paul Mullin. I have got a list of other things that I was going to talk about, but I feel like these were the most appropriate ones that I should be talking about because they most relate to Elliot Lee's performance when he's been playing for Wrexham AFC. But like I said, his creativity, he's responsible for the flow of the attack. A perfect example of this was Tranmere away. You know, he picked up the ball from a loose pass from a Tranmere player, and his just immediate thought was to drive forward with the ball, long strides. You know, he's only 5'9", 5'10", so like I said, he's got that low centre of gravity, but it was long, big strides from Elliot Lee. He progressed with the ball, his timing to find James McLean on that left-hand side. He threaded it through the defender. It unfortunately didn't result in a goal, but we've seen it multiple times with Elliot Lee when he's got the ball in the middle of the park, drive forward with the ball and has found that pass. So what a signing Elliot Lee has been for Wrexham AFC. Since signing in July 2022, he's added so much to that front line of Wrexham AFC. And like I said, we operate as a team so much better when Elliot Lee is on the pitch. He creates more chances than I think anyone in League Two because he, you know, he's got that quality, he's got the experience in the higher leagues, and I think he's going to play a huge part if we are to get promoted this year. We are so lucky to have him, and let's keep our fingers crossed that he doesn't make the switch over to Birmingham City. I'm confident he won't, but yeah, let me know in the comment section, would you like to see more? If you would, let me know who you want to see on in the comment section down below. Subscribe for all the best Wrexham AFC content, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys, up the town.